Everyone, and welcome to this, the third episode in the Time to Shine series podcast. My name is Rohan, and I'm joined this episode by our usual suspects. That is the marvelous Mel, our jolly John, and the lovely Liv, who, as ever, will be giving us a little roundup of up-and-coming events in the coming months at the end of our program. As the 31st of March is Trans Day of Visibility, or TDoV as it's more commonly known, we are joined by a special guest this week. It's the sensational Sasha, who is one of Fujitsu Pride Network's trans role models and leads, who will be sharing her various stories on her journey with us. So welcome, Sasha. Nice to have you.
Hi, Sasha.
Hi, Sasha.
But before we speak to Sasha, I'd like to do a quick check-in with our usual crew, if I may, to see how everyone is doing. So I will start off. Jolly John, how are you doing?
Hi, Rohan. Hi, everyone. I am not too bad, thank you very much. What's been going on since the last podcast? I've joined the reverse mentoring program, which I've had 2 meetings on now, and it's going quite well. I have also been in contact with the people that run the Responsible Business Network in HMRC, and they've asked me to be a bit of a consultant for them. And also PNPS DNI network have put me onto their team, so we can get the message out from what Pride is doing and all things DNI across different networks now, which is really, really good. Yeah, not a lot else is happening really with lockdown and COVID and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's still same old. That's it from me. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next, seeing as Mel is still on mute.
Mel.
So what have I been up to since the last episode? Not much, I guess, as well. Seeing as, we're still in lockdown, I've been mostly sticking to my gamer roots. I've been playing a lot of Switch. Been playing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey. Yes, yeah. Sasha. Been playing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey, and like last night, actually, funnily enough, the new Crash Bandicoot mobile game came out. And it's just like another rubbish mobile game, but I love Crash Bandicoot too much to not play it. So that's what I'm probably going to be spending the next month doing. What was that?
The dog seems to want to join in. I said I'll have to get into having a go at playing that one then. I can do it on my mobile.
It's like fine. It's a mobile game. What else can I say?
Cool, sounds good.
So how about you, marvelous Mel?
Well, I'm doing all right, thank you. I've started a new exercise regime. I've been losing weight a little tiny bit by giving up chocolate, alcohol, and sweets and crisps for Lent. And now, because I've kind of got into the habit of dieting, I decided to start running, and I've had my second successful 3K this week.
Ooh.
So getting there. Ooh,
cool.
Yeah.
So it's going okay then. How are your knees?
My knees are fine so far. Definitely having the right shoes makes a big difference. So my Nike Airs, don't plug in for Nike there. But...
You're definitely making some funny noises there, Mel.
I'm kicking the dogs in the background. Sorry, stop, doggies. They're fighting
pushing them away, Jen.
Before we start the call. Sorry. So what have you been up to, Rohan? That's a bit...
Well, Mel, I have been, since we last spoke, I don't think I've been up to that much, apart from having 2 fabulous days off when the weather was lovely and sunny. And I got a chance to go down to the banks of the River Thames feed a few swans.
Awesome.
Yeah, swan around there. Boom, boom, boom. And then
You sent us some pictures of your house, didn't you, on our WhatsApp chat? That looked
I think that I wish that was my house. That was Sion House. Yeah, but it was a lovely day. The 2 days went by just like that. And before I knew it, I felt like Cinderella and I was back at work.
Oh dear.
Yeah, oh dear.
It always happens.
Yeah. I wish it didn't happen to me though. Only eating with my line
You've got a
managers.
4-day weekend coming up. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got a 4-day week coming up, and then another 4-day week, and then a 2-day week. Ooh. But anyway, enough talk about me. Let's move on to the sensational Sasha. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm like everybody at the start of the year. I'm dieting, trying to lose weight. It's going quite well. I'm staying strong. We have a vending machine at work which takes contactless payments, and it's very tempting to just like pass it and just like get yourself a treat. So I'm staying strong and not getting any, and I'm feeling quite proud of myself.
Willpower.
Yeah, like Liv, I've been playing quite a lot of games. Been playing Mario, Odyssey. I'm currently trying to like 100% it, so I'm not the way there.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge.
Did you have to keep on redoing the levels to make sure you get 100% on them before you move on, or?
So it's like the way Mario Odyssey works. You like got like different kingdoms.
Yeah.
So you have to like once you complete the game, and you've beat Bowser, it like unlocks these like moon cubes, and then you have to hit them, and you get extra moons. And each so. Right. I'm now going back to each kingdom and like getting all of the moons and then working my way across.
Right, okay. Fair dues.
Of course, that means nothing to me, but thank you for letting me know. No, I don't know Mario or Nindo or whatever it is.
What was that?
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo, whatever, yeah.
You've got Switches and I've got a Nintendo Wii.
Old school, the OG.
Yeah. It is definitely.
I mean, if you want to go old school, I've got a Game Boy here. No,
I have got a Game Boy.
I've got a Nokia 6310 with Snake on it.
Wow.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Cool.
But anyway, this is our TDoV special. So without further ado, Sasha, I'd love to know why TDoV is important to you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, to me, TDoV's important because although we're now getting some of the visibility that I feel like we deserve, and you know, it's leading to some movement, some positive progress. You know, we've been sort of left out for quite a while within the movement and within sort of society. And now we're sort of starting to see these people pop up in all kinds of places and being amazing and inspirational. One of them being after the founder, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Riviera. Like, you know, we're at the start of this thing. We've been going for quite a while, and so it's important to me because it brings light to people that quite rightly deserve it, I think. One of them being good luck as well, but Caroline Page. They were the first transgender officer in the British Armed Forces. So, you know, throughout every sector, there's trans people sort of making progress and being the first people to break boundaries. It's quite a good day.
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good. And yeah, I think it's important to all of us to get the message across, which is why the 31st of March is so important. And watch out for Connect articles and things like that. So we'd like to know a little bit about your journey, both personally outside of work and then within work, and how work's been supportive and that type of thing. So can you give us a bit of a story?
Yeah, I mean, so not everybody, obviously with trans people, like each story is different. I know we might have some similarities between each story, you know, each one's sort of a separate journey. For me, I had suspicions when I was 4. And then when I was sort of in my childhood, I kind of had an idea that I was trans, and I tried to sort of block it out, like you do within the pride culture. And then after sort of a very bad year that I went through, once I was trying to piece my life back together, I was kind of like, well, you know, it's been over like a decade now, and I still got these feelings. I'm pretty sure it's probably time for me to be my true self. And so I kind of did my research, came out to my parents first, and then the rest of my family later on. It all went incredibly well, which isn't always the case for trans people, sadly. But yeah, it's all been sort of so far really good. I mean, we've got the inspirational Mel that sort of helped me do it within Jiu-Jitsu. And my boss at the time was incredibly supportive and helpful. He even signed the letter that you need for a DPOL. So my mum picked my name Sasha, and then my boss helped me get the DPOL for my name. And so I think they've both been really sort of positive. And then work's just been fantastic with it so far. I mean, I've not had any issues. Had quite a lot of compliments.
That's really nice to hear.
Really
like,
nice, isn't it?
like you did get some good support like from your boss.
And it's great to hear that your family is supportive as well. As you say, so many people can have issues when they come out. So yeah, it's really good that you've got lots of supportive people around you.
Yeah.
And especially from your boss, I hasten to add as well, because so many employers could take a totally different view. And
yeah, I mean, sadly, that was one of my fears, where it's like, am I prepared to take this journey regardless of if I lose my job or my friends or my family or whatever? And once I decided that I'm prepared to lose everything to do with this, I was like, then let's go for this. Full speed, just head on. And I kind of went for it, and thankfully, Fujitsu, being the first Japanese company to support LGBT people, yeah, I think I've had quite a lot of support. Now helped me quite a lot, because I didn't know. Though I've done research, it was still quite a daunting thing. You know, I had helped on like what clothes to buy and things, and you kind of have a new world, something that you have to like walk into. And I've had quite a lot of help from people.
That's good. And I hope your boss was there helping you with your outfits as well.
Do you know what? I raised him a Stars Award to say thank you for how supportive he was being. And then he used his Stars Award to get a clothes voucher, which he then gave me.
Wow.
Oh, that's so
That's
sweet.
That is really cool.
So he's been incredibly supportive and such a massive ally.
Do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah.
His name's Tony Thomas. We have 2 within the company. So they're forever getting each other's emails. But yeah, I believe in the gal who's Anthony Thomas. But
Sorry, what was that name again?
Tony Thomas.
Tony Thomas.
Or Anthony.
Yeah. Good call out, Tony.
Big shout out. Big shout out.
Big up, Tony.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, because you spend so long at work as well. So it's really important that work is a supportive place and a safe place for you.
Yeah.
So, like, you mentioned sort of stepping into this new world all of a sudden and having to do things like buying clothes that like you hadn't done before. So, like, what other kind of differences did you find before and after you transitioned? Maybe it's just like something mundane, or maybe it's like some sort of deeper sort of perception of things around you.
Yeah, I mean, like before in my when I was having my phase of being cisgendered, um, I I kind of like was aware of like things like pride and like the BLM movement and all these different things, but I couldn't really connect with it like because I didn't understand like what they was going through. And now that I'm part of the pride movement and I'm seeing the difficulties and I'm feeling them myself as well, I then suddenly go, oh, I completely get these things, and so it's sort of helped me to understand things a lot more. Um, but then there's also other things that simple things which I've gone from like this whole like man thing to this woman thing. Like bathrooms are completely different. The first time I was in the bathroom and then like two girls came in and like just having a full blown conversation. I'm like, oh, should I be here? Am I meant to now leave? I don't know what's going on. There's so many things, and then guys don't generally compliment each other. It's not like a done thing. But now like I get like compliments of like different like girls and things and like, oh, you look so amazing. Thank you. And it's just like, yeah, it's a lot of like adjustment that you gotta get used to. Getting like adjusting to like accepting compliments and getting used to them. And then also giving them out quite often as well. So I think now if you see someone in like their boots or a jacket or lipstick or whatever, I'm like, oh, very nice, whatever. And yeah.
Did you find it quite hard to get used to it, or was it something that just sort of came quite quickly and naturally?
It took me a little while to get used to it. Like, I think the way I use language was one of the things that I struggled with. So the way I talk took a little bit of a change. But like yeah, I think it is a process. So it took me a little while, but I kind of stuck at it, and it kind of just became nature quite quickly.
How long did it take you to do? You mentioned it. It was you had to make some adjustments around language. How long did that take? Are you still adjusting or?
I'm still like I think we should always like be conscious of the language we use. It is because words are very powerful things. Like that if you say something in the wrong way, you can quickly offend or upset people. And it's usually quite unintentional. Just like even from like the tone that you use, and so I'm always conscious of like the language I use. One of the strongest things that took me a while to learn was makeup. So there's a lot of time sat in front of the mirror practicing. Yeah, I think I've got quite good with my language.
Awesome. When we were doing the planning for this, we started talking about things that people do either intentionally or unintentionally that can actually build up and infuriate you. And I thought if we could just focus on maybe a couple of those examples that we had in our discussion, and just talk about those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things you pointed out was when people make assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel when people make assumptions about you?
It's a bit upsetting, especially because it's like if it's people that you knew beforehand, and beforehand they didn't make the assumptions. So then 6 months to a year later, suddenly like, oh, they're assuming that you wouldn't know these things. Like, I mean, thank you for now seeing me as the woman I am, but like at the same time, it's very rude and sort of like, yeah, very quite upsetting.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you said also that one of the other problems is people actually speaking over you.
Yeah, I mean, when you sort of you have like your team conversations, or like you might be like talking to one of your male friends or whatever. Suddenly that they still have the whole dominant alpha thing going on. So you end up with this like just talking straight over you, like, okay, I mean, you do it the hard way, you make a mistake, and then come back to me. And I'll just like say, yeah, I kind of said this, you didn't listen. Just saying.
So what impact does that have on you, when somebody says that?
It's quite upsetting because like obviously you're trying to engage and add something to a conversation and you just sort of essentially just being blank. Because sometimes you might say some like a valid opinion or statement and then you just sort of completely dismiss it. And then you might like 10 minutes later you hear the very thing you just said repeated and you're like, I did say this, like or like, when something goes wrong, then suddenly you hear like, oh, we should have done this. Like, yeah.
So it sounds like you have to be quite resilient then.
Very, but also, what I try to do is I try and enforce what I say. So like, if people are trying to dismiss me, I'm like, hang on, no. And then you kind of have to fight for it, which obviously before I didn't have to. So it's quite annoying that you now have this having to fight twice as hard just to do something. I
guess like in a way it's sort of good because you're being seen as the person that you really are, but it's bad because then all of a sudden you get thrown into the sort of the architecture of society that is based on like misogyny or whatever,
Exactly. It's like it's both like a thank you but a no. Like
yeah.
Like
I guess also it must be very frustrating to you because you're seeing it from both sides of the coin in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's happened before, but now it's happening.
Yeah, like I might have heard stories of it before, and you're not really aware of how often it happens or how it happens. And now I'm like experiencing it firsthand, and it's like, oh, okay. It's really like annoying. It's like you do get the compliments and things, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's still not nice.
Definitely. And then the other thing we talked about was the use of pronouns or the misuse of pronouns and misgendering.
Yeah.
Just share with us a little bit about what that makes you feel like when someone does that.
I mean, when someone does it to me, like just that happening, even like once or twice, either at the start of the day or whenever, that'll be, as soon as that's happened, that's all I'm going to be thinking about for the rest of the day. Sometimes it might even like be all I think about for like the entire week. Like that can really like just take you out of it. And I've one of the ways that I kind of become you have to become rather resilient to it, because it will just sort of like mentally really upset you and quite destroying. But the way I've tried to become a bit more resilient to it is the fact that I am quite mentally strong and emotionally. So I now try and like stand up and correct people because I think like, someone behind me or the next person that has to deal with this person, they might be like a trans kid or whatever. They might not be quite as strong and as able to do that. So I'm like doing it because I need to like fight and make sure that it happens for them. But hearing like people misgender family members, it's still like, okay, it's not me, but I still would upset.
Oh, definitely. So have you got any advice? Because obviously people do make mistakes, accidentally, they're not taking notice or whatever, and they'll say something. How would you like them to react?
Like the thing is to them to just be aware of it, for them to correct themselves and just move on. Like if you just say like, if they mention you like say he, oh sorry, she, and then just move on, rather than like make a big like deal over it, because then it becomes this big ordeal that you just like they made a fuss over, and it kind of just makes it so much worse. But also it's like I guess if you're seeing someone try and take like some kind of usually there's some kind of like social cues that they're trying to give you. Not always, and generally like if obviously when you meet a person, it's nice if you just sort of like ask them their pronouns. So you're not a human, but if you're not able to, then you know.
Yeah. And have you found that you react to them in a certain way? Have you changed your way you react to them if somebody does do it?
Yeah, I mean, before I would just get really quite upset and just like, and I'd just be like quite sheepish before. And then, like I said, I kind of just like learned to be quite strong and just like amusing and being defensive of my trans community and trying to help them. Because like I said, they could be like some other trans person that's really vulnerable and it's not emotionally like not quite as strong, and if they're going to come up against this, they're going to like it's just going to destroy them because it's destroyed me before, and like I've had it happen luckily only a handful of times, but yeah.
You've obviously had, you know, you've been through an amazing journey by the sounds of it, Sasha, at home, at work, and you're obviously quite a resilient person by what you've just sort of told us. So big kudos to you too. So well done. And
Thank you.
I like to sort of just, you know, I'm just conscious that, you know, that it's probably time for us all to hang our hats up and have a cup of tea. But I would be really interested to know what three things through your journey you are really most grateful to you know, at this moment in time.
Yeah, certainly. I think the first would definitely be like my family. Though I was definitely prepared to lose them if I had to. I am incredibly grateful that I've got my parents, I've got my brother, I've got my nieces, and my nephew. And also I've got like my girlfriend, and you know, everybody's so supportive, and if I have a bad day, I know who to call and who to go to. I think the other thing I'm really grateful for is like the progress that we've made within Pride for trans people. Like I'm still waiting for the NHS to catch up to put my hormones. So in the meantime, I'm on like a private healthcare, and the fact that I'm able to even do that is just I'm really grateful for the fact that you know we've got those things. And systems they're updating all over the place to accept trans people. So I'm really grateful for progress, and I guess the third one would be the support of so many like networks, and I guess linking into the second one, the companies as well. You know, that people are making it viable for you to change your name or your gender or whatever. It's a very positive thing.
Are there any other things you're grateful? I know I said three, but are there any other things you're grateful for?
There's some things that I'm grateful for. I mean, the fact that you got like game publishers making games about trans people. We've got TV shows, we've got films. We're having publishers say like, hang on a second, that's very transphobic, and then they're denying these transphobic people from like giving them a sort of a soapbox to stand on. They sort of, you know, they're having consequences which they rightly deserve come at them. And yeah, I'm really grateful for the positive changes that are happening in the world. We've still got quite a way to go, but you know, we're still making progress. It's really good.
And let's hope we continue to make progress.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we will. But Sasha, I just want to say thank you ever so much for giving up your time to come and sort of share your story, your journey with us here on Time to Shine, episode 3, TDoV special, or the advertising. Yeah, it's been you and I was right when I described you as sensational, because you are sensational, and it's been a real honor and privilege to not just know you in through the Pride Network, but also to have you here with us, talking so frankly and honestly. So thank you very much. And of course, now is the time of the day where everyone's been waiting to hear from our lovely Liv as to what's coming up next. Over to you, Liv.
Yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to mention is that the LGBT Foundation is running a professionals awareness event for TDoV. That's an event where they're going to be raised. Don't laugh at me, Mel. They're going to be raised. They're going to be raising awareness of trans people in the workplace, which a lot of you hopefully might be interested in. So if you would like to go and listen to the talks and stuff at that event, then you can go to lgbt.foundation to go check that out. And we have a lot going on inside Fujitsu, the Pride Network. First of all, we've got the Stay In, which is Friday, which hopefully is tomorrow. Depending on when this goes out. Yes, tomorrow the 26th, after work. Starts after work, ends whenever the party dies, which is never.
Are drinks optional?
No, they're not optional.
Mandatory.
You can drink tea, you can drink water, you can drink whatever you like.
Okay.
Anything so long as it's in liquid form. But yeah, come along to Stay In. We've usually got the regulars as well as a few other faces popping in. So come hang out with us, celebrate the weekend, just chill out. Then we also have Media Club. We're going to be watching It's a Sin, which is the TV series written by Russell T Davies. And where can people find that if they want to come along and watch?
Is that the question to the audience?
Yeah, because you're all supposed to know this. Come on. Uh-oh.
For on demand?
Rohan, you've been doing your homework.
Or may have been in the program as well.
Is it available on any other formats for people that are not UK?
You can order a DVD or a Blu-ray from Amazon.com. Other networks are available. We're not the BBC. Why am I saying that? Is it on Netflix or anything?
At the moment, no.
HSBC, is it?
HBO.
HSBC, did you say?
HSBC.
Oh, not HSBC, not the bank. Hey, is it the one that Game of Thrones is on?
HBO.
HBO.
Oh, that's
HSBC.
I'm going to get it on Blu-ray anyway.
So if you want to come along, then watch it. I guess you can also come along if you haven't watched it. We'll just have a lot to talk about. We'll talk about what we thought of it. And that's happening on Wednesday, the 7th of April at 1 p.m. UK time. So put it in your calendars. There's an invite, and if you haven't got it, you can probably find the invite on somewhere. Yama,
and also on the newsletter, and also on John's phone by the sounds of it.
No, I've ordered it on Amazon and it's arriving on Saturday. Apparently.
It just looks like nothing.
It was really bright. Yeah, it's on its way.
If you're not part of Fujitsu, do watch it. It's really inspiring. It'll definitely move you. So
definitely.
If it's not your thing normally to kind of watch LGBT movies or series, trust me, you will like this one.
I mean, my boss, or my ex-boss that I was telling you about, he's watched it, and he recommended it and said it's a great watch as well. So, yeah.
Tony, we love it. Tony.
Harry.
Tony.
I'm getting really distracted by your shark in the background as well, Sasha. Sorry.
That'll be Flynn.
Flynn. And
It is an
not
IKEA shark, isn't it?
the shark.
Yeah, it's Flynn the shark. He was named when I picked them up because he got a fin, and also because
Wow, what you've got?
there's Flynn's Arcade from Tron. Not quite sure if you remember it. I'm quite a fan of Tron stuff.
This is my IKEA shark.
Yay. I don't have a shark. I want Mel's
My shark is now gonna sit with us for the ending.
Cool.
Oh, you got me all distracted now when I was meant to be wrapping this up.
Is there anything else coming up, Liv?
Yes, there's lots of things coming up. We've also got a video that we are in the middle of producing / editing. So that's going to be talking about the trans journey, but from the perspective of trans families. And that will be posted to our channels whenever it's finished. So keep an eye out for that. We've also got the virtual brew that's happening Thursday the 8th of April at 3:30 UK time. We've been seeing a lot of new faces coming along to that, which has been really good. So yeah, join us for like just a short break in your work day. So it's important to take breaks whilst you're working for your own well-being, and I think like especially with lockdown, people have needed that time to just socialize and talk about just anything that's going on in their lives. So feel free to
Can we talk about the film, Jules?
Only if you have an IKEA shark.
That's me out then.
I've got a shark Hoover. Can I bring that along?
Yes.
A Hoover?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like a Henry, but
yeah.
Shark.
oh.
I think it's sold by J&L.
Pretty good.
So anyway, thank you very much, Liv. That's been most enlightening, and we'll definitely save the best till the last, didn't we, with you? Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to say thank you, sensational Sasha. It's been amazing having you here. Kudos to you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you to my nearest and dearest Time to Shine episode 3 crew as well. Jolly John, Marvelous Mel, and lovely Liv. And all there is to say is goodbye, have a good week, and until next time, ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.